So I think we need to be quiet. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so oh yeah, okay. We are live.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to After Church Tea Time after the Power of Compassion sermon.
Very powerful.
It was so powerful.
Mhm.
It was awesome, just perfect sermon. And I wanted to begin this tea time by thanking Jeff and Shlia and expressing gratitude and just how grateful I am for you guys and for your teaching and everything that you offer and the message that you share with all of us. I've never heard anyone speak this way about compassion. I've never heard anyone teach this way because it's you, because it is your purpose. This is who you are. You are God's divine channel. And I'm so grateful to have you and just to hear God's message in this way. Because without you, like, I would never know compassion in this way. I would never know compassion at this depth. And it's because you guys know God. You know God, and that allows us to know God. And I'm just very grateful. I'm grateful to be offered like an intimate relationship with God, because that is what you guys share with us, is your intimate relationship with God. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I never been told by anyone or heard that you're always good no matter what, you know, and that sin isn't real, and you know that guilt and shame don't serve a purpose. Yeah, it was cool. It was, I mean, it was beyond. It was really empowering too when I discovered, you know, them, Jeff and Shalia, and I appreciate them saying that again in the service, because like it's like what I needed to hear, you know, for everything in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel like I almost can't believe how much was into the service, right? It was so packed in, it was so rich, it was so full. And I was really just so emotional and really was just crying several times. And I also made some notes, right? And I just felt, oh my God, this is just amazing. That's a piece of perfection, you know what I mean? And I'm just so grateful. And all what there has been shared, right? It was each sentence, it was so just healing, right? And yeah, I just remember now as when Shalia started to share what is compassion for her, right? And when she said it's just this understanding, you know, and just understanding where this other person is right now or where I am right now, right? And I can really realize myself that I have been so used to beat up myself, you know, when I've been loving myself, I'm loving myself, right? But when I am in pain or when I'm working through heavy stuff, or I'm just back in my mind, you know, and I'm so used to beat up myself then, right? And feel, and it also came up recently, you know, guilt and shame about certain things. And just knowing now, the only thing what is required is compassion, right? And the moment you are able to have compassion with yourself, and you can just have compassion for everything in each situation, right? And it's just what is coming now also is just this understanding, having compassion that you forgot a moment about God and your own truths, right? That's just what it is, right? And this makes it very easy in a way to have compassion now for everything. It feels at the moment like, right, that whoever needs compassion, they just forgot about God in this moment, right? And that's just it, you know. Yeah. And I also just, it's coming up what has been shared at the beginning that Maria Magdalena, was it not Mary, Mother Mary? How was he saying it? That,
mhm.
right, that she's coming and she is, and it's a mastery. Having compassion, it's showing your mastery already, right? Because yeah, I think it was Mother Mary, because she knows already. Oh, you just forgot about, and I don't. I know the truth, but I have compassion, my child. You just go crazy right now, and it's okay, right? And it feels so good, right? And as some of you guys shared, Isaiah or Sage, when you said it's so healing to know God even does not know that you have been whatever doing, he does not even notice that. It's not as it's not, it hasn't been there, you know what I mean? So there is actually never a reason to feel guilty or ashamed or anything, but it even did not happen, right? It even did not happen. That's big, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Mm.
Well, it's like, I mean, knowing that he, like what I got from it was that like he knows that you experienced that or something at some level. Like he knows that, but and that's how you can have compassion. But then at the same time, the deeper truth is that he knows that that's not real, you know, and that's not who you are. And that's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Like I can apply that a lot because I would, you know, I've been working through feeling really like picking things out all the time that like aren't divine or whatever, that I'm like, well, I know this is out of alignment. Well, I know this. Well, I know this, that, and the people and the whatever. But I'm just like, yeah, it's without compassion though. It gets really, it, you know, it doesn't do anything good for you. It just brings you down. So I was like, yeah, I just have to see the divine in all of this and have compassion for these people, you know, and like, I don't know, like have compassion for my city and stuff like that. And just like, you know, see the good in it and stuff, like the seed of the divine in it and all the divine in it, you know? So yeah, it's been good. It's been better to see things that way instead of just being like we're in separation, you know, and you know, because God wouldn't see it that way. Yeah. So he'd have compassion for us and encourage us into even better way of being, you know, instead of being like, so yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say that something that I realizing like compassion is recognizing where you are at this moment, but and you are becoming more of what you are, going back to the truth of who you are. It doesn't mean that you're not perfect right now.
Mhm.
But it's safe to have that compassion for yourself, that everything that you are doing and loving right now is already perfect, and you just keep growing into that. It's like a little tree, a little plant that keeps growing to become, the tree, and keeps changing, evolving, improving, and and is a natural state of, you know, part of the nature. You know, it's not like wrong. It's something that is always improving and changing. It's natural. It's the way that the universe works. And yeah, I was actually talking with Angela last night about about my past experience, like I was living in hell before, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Jeff and Shalia, their work saved my life completely. You know, before I believed like hell was like a real, all this bad stuff was real, and I was just like,
Mm.
I don't have those nightmares anymore, those terrible dreams anymore. It's just like so peaceful. It's not like confusing anymore, and I don't need to be afraid. And yeah, it's just like amazing how they showed up and saved my life. And yeah, the work is just like beautiful in everything that they do, and they inspire me a lot to become more of what I am. As a child of God. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. I what is there's that Jeff and Shalia said, like, healing is not fixing what's broken. Healing is building upon what is right.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, just,
Mm.
I feel called to ask all of us and anyone who's with us too in the comments, like, what does
Yes.
compassion mean for you? What does it feel like for you?
Yes, I love that. Audience engagement. Where are our peeps? Oh, I see. Yeah. I'll make sure.
I can meanwhile add, for me, compassion, what I love most about it is that you can see everything in light. Because when you don't have compassion for yourself and go through something, you're like kind of in the darkness, dark hole, and you don't understand anything. It's like a hell. But when you look at it from God's eyes, it's just like, oh, it's this, and then you can move further, and it just, you don't attach any feeling to it. It is you're just looking at yourself or like other people, but without any guilt or bad feelings. It's, yeah, that's what I really love about it.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Only seeing the light, or only, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the journey, right? Like what you said, like God is everywhere and it's in every place of your journey. So if you go through something, if you look back at it, it's just like, oh, you're just growing, and it's actually beautiful. And I love what Jeff said too about that. It's just beautiful to grow, and it's all part of God, like all part of your growing. And so
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Leanna. I can really relate to that. Yeah, we have a lot of plant metaphors today.
We have some
We should look
comments
at,
here.
talk to these people.
So Alexandra said, I wept a few times during the sermon. It was very healing for me. Us too. Oceana said, yeah, sometimes we want to try and fix someone who is broken and point out what's wrong, but then you would actually be placing judgment rather than just extending compassion and just giving love. And then Lisi said, a very large part of my healing has to do with being compassionate for myself and my union. God is already compassionate with me right where I am. I'm learning to surrender into that truth and extend that love to my union and out into the world. I feel so much more peace and relief. And then Lisi went on to say, when I stopped pushing on things and had compassion and acceptance for where I am, I was able to partner with God and walk with him, holding his hand.
Yeah, that really helped me, Lisi. Like what you just said, yeah. Really helpful. Yeah, I could really relate to how you shared that with like not like pushing on things versus like having compassion and acceptance and then walk with God in a gentle way. Thank you. Yeah. That's good.
Very beautiful. And I really see, when I see myself, I could have more easily compassion with people, with other people. And when it comes to my twin flame, it was much more harder. And while the sermon was going on, I could really see myself how I was really very pushy last year. At the second half of last year, I started to be very controlling and just very forceful, because I thought, I want this now, this is the next step. And I really did not show compassion, you know what I mean? And this is just something which is not serving, right? And I don't know what to say, but it almost feels I have been afraid of just being compassionate, or maybe I just did not understand what it means, that this person or myself just forgot about the truth, right? And they're just on the way back. And I always took it personal in a way, right? But now I see there's no need to take it personal. Yeah, so that's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there is like a confusion about being compassionate about, someone. Uh, being compassionate with someone does not mean accept their illusion.
Hmm.
You only means to respect, where they are at the moment, love them, and but keep choosing to honor the true in your heart. You know, and this is something that actually I'm healing a lot, that this in my union, just choosing to honor um, the true and keep healing it, releasing the illusion, and just being compassionate with everything that I'm experiencing, because it's really just the next step to love myself and to grow more into it. Yeah.
Beautiful. I really love that. Just to grow more into it, right? Into what we are anyway already. We're just growing into it. And I just got a tree now in my mind, and like rooting it really this truth, right? And when we have strong roots, we are just very strong, right? And we can really just also go up into the sky and just growing more and more into this beautiful being we are already, right? And this
Yeah. 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 Go ahead.
yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm just
Yeah. I mean, I was just going to say, like, because, you know, if you do not ground, it's like a tree, right? If the tree does not ground it on the, I don't know where is the name English, but the tree is gonna keep flying around. you know, it's not gonna be steady. It's like the same thing, I guess, with your mind. You must heal, go into your heart so you can ground more and heal more your mind. It's really about unifying all of who you are. Yeah.
yeah. And
Mm.
it's really a very great gift I received from Jeff and Chilia's teachings, because I used to be very ungrounded. I could really, connect myself with the divine at some point, right? I was just open for that, but I haven't been aware that grounding is more important. So I was just, going up and down, and it was just very exhausting. And this is one of the things I realized pretty soon. Then when I started to have TFAS and watching, right, I really felt, oh my God, I have never been more grounded in my life than now. That's amazing. Oh my God, thank God, right? And I mean, I still keep on grounding more and more, right? And I just even started to appreciate and even love to be grounded and just enjoying it more and more. Yeah, yeah, it feels very good. Sun is shining.
Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know the sun was still up where you were. Oh, but okay. Yeah. We have a very international group.
We do.
It's like Germany, the Netherlands, America, and Brazil.
It's awesome.
It's really cool.
It's really cool. I love that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, very cool.
I just wanted to share a quote that Shalia shared with us in the sermon. She said, "Compassion is not about taking pity on someone.
Mhm.
It's an understanding that another person needs the understanding of love. And in that way, that is compassion and how we offer compassion."
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to learn that a lot. I always had like this idea of having to have pity on someone, but then you're hurting yourself, and it is not love, and it's just it's hard to describe. And yeah, I remember I asked how I learned compassion, and I had to just ask God, and that is really how you learn it. You have it already in your heart, and God will show you. You will just experience it at some point when someone gives it to you, or you feel it at some point with someone else. And that's ultimately how you learn it, and how you can grow more into it. Apply it everywhere where you feel called to. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been experiencing this a lot because I drive around Phoenix a lot, like the city of Phoenix, like the area in Arizona. And yeah, we have a lot of homeless people out here. And it's really, I used to just like, because of guilt, because I didn't know Jeff and Shalia, I didn't know them, I didn't know how to resolve guilt. I felt, I just kind of surrendered to it, and I would always give money, and sometimes I would give like ridiculous amounts of money, I mean, for me, right? I mean, like, like I'd give them like a $20 bill or something. And it's just like, even if like I needed that money, and I would just be like, oh my God, because I felt like I owed them something. I had to be pitying. And I don't choose that anymore. And I'm much more selective now of like, does God ask me to give this or not? It's really it's a very like, to me, like, for me, it's just been feeling like, you know, like choosing to trust God myself, like having these encounters is kind of like feeling like, well, do I trust God to take care of me? Or do I feel like I'm powerless and I don't have God? And then if I feel like I'm powerless, I just claim God as my power. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's always like refining me to, driving around the city. Yeah. So, and not just like giving into guilt, no matter how they might present themselves, it's like that's not compassionate, because then it just teaches a person, it just teaches them that they don't have the power themselves, or they don't have God, to bring them what they need, supply them what they need, but that's not true. And sometimes it's compassionate to give. And we received recently help from my family too, in order to pay for the place that we're staying in now. So, because we just moved into our first apartment together. So, sometimes, then it's good to be on the receiving end of like truly compassionate help. Anyway, that's how I connected to it.
Yeah, but I understand this fine line, right? And it's really about, what we are called to do, right? When God asks us to do a certain thing, then it feels good, right, for ourselves and for the other. And at the same time, it's rather more, I think Daniel said it, it's empowering other people to find their own truth again, right? And we can offer that. And if they're open for it, right, that's their own choice. And I really liked also the idea, this is how we can also heal suffering in the world, right? it's just and as Jeff said, it's there already. God is always there. God is free, and God is he's always there, right? And it's just our own choice. Are we open to receive the truth already? Are we just ready for that, right? And I really feel, it's amazing to be able, experiencing this truth myself and building up this life with God, and then starting to spread it more, and then offering it to people, and empower them as well, right? And so
that's the most compassionate thing, is to empower others and guide them to like, no, you're powerful, instead of and having them claim God as their source instead of relying on others as source.
So true. Wow, I just feel so good right now, because I really just feel that I used to be a person who I also like to not to empower maybe people, but just guide them or just support them. But I did it more from my own energy, you know what I mean? And then I've been feeling sometimes just exhausted, and I really, it's just really, I'm just a messenger of showing, oh, right, you have this pipeline as well within. I can teach and show you how you can, right, experiencing it. It feels so good, isn't it? And we are really, I don't know how to say. I just feel like, in truth, there is no separation, right? There is no suffering actually, and it's just yeah, our own, what do we want to experience? Do we want to experience heaven? Are we ready for this or not yet, right? And if people are not yet, then we come to the compassion again, to be compassionate when they stay where they are, right? But at the same time, offering, yeah, it's just, wow. You know what I mean? Because it feels we never need to feel bad anymore. I mean, I
Yeah,
stopped,
exactly.
right? I stopped feeling bad for people because I just, have been aware this is their own choice. But yeah, we don't need to feel bad, right? And I just feel I felt guided already to pick up this book. It's in German, but it's The Essence of the Spiritual Way. And that's a book where Yogananda was just answering questions, right, from a close student of her. And I remember, that there was once the question, how do I behave when other people are suffering? And I just remembered also she was also answering, yeah, you stay in your power and in your own truth, right? And don't, yeah, go there as well. That's not compassionate. Yeah.
Something that I'm learning with compassion. Yesterday, I was working at the bookstore, and a lot of people came in upset, and angry, because our bookstore probably is going to close again because of the situation with coronavirus. And I just look at them, and I just like chose to love myself there and love them, and just like their behavior, disillusion is not true. Like they are not loved there, but I choose to love myself there and love them. The situation, just be present there. And I'm glad that the sermon was really about the compassion, because it's really about loving, giving the love in that place that doesn't feel love, you know. And yeah, it's just like beautiful. Yeah, I just want to say that.
Yeah. Let me see if we can. Oh yeah, yeah. There's a few. There's some comments from the back or for the back too, but oh, can you see them all? I know we're figuring this out. But Oceana's like, I would get angry and deeply upset and hurt people who choose suffering and separation from God. But I realize another's choice has no power of me over what I choose to live in. And it empowers others to give compassion and just understand where they are in their journey. I feel I have such a deeper understanding, even more about how to love people from this sermon. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really easy. I'm feeling from the sermon, it doesn't have to like bleed you of energy, to like love people. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love that it's so easy. We have been taught like with this, like for me at least, that I have to solve other people's problems, or like that I'm the one that do something wrong, or like all this guilt, and makes things super complicated. But then you just choose compassion. It's so clear what to do. Just you feel it in your heart, like, oh, this person is hurt and this needs space, or sometimes it requires an action, like blocking someone and someone is like chasing a false twin flame, and that false twin flame is blocking you. That is also compassion, and sometimes it's just a feeling, and even with your presence in that feeling, people already receive that, and I love that it can be expressed in different ways. It's
Yeah, because boundaries are compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I just feel I'm so much in love about love, right? And I really feel how much it's really helpful to have this, yeah, really opportunity given right through this sermon and the services, as Jeff also said, to have this room to experience God and to get reminded of Him, right? And of our own true self. And I'm just so amazed, right? And this is always, you know, when the mind gets crazy. And this is something I'm also got much more aware through the work of Jeff and Shalia. That's my own, I'm in charge of my mind, you know what I mean? And that I have this power, and that, you know, just knowing it can be just sometimes felt very powerful that the mind goes crazy, but I can really choose, you know, what I want to choose, right? And the choice makes the difference, right?
Mhm.
And I really feel, you know, growing more and more into the teachings and into love and God, it makes it more and more easy just to choose love and stay happy. And this is something, before the sermon was today, I went for a walk, and I just again realized it's really my own choice. You know, do I really want to feel good, or do I want to feel bad? Do I still, you know, hang into the suffering mood and state of being, because, you know, we've been just so used to experience that in a way. And I really feel, oh, it's really, it needs my own choice. When I'm not choosing,
Mm.
I cannot receive it, I cannot see it, I cannot feel it, and I don't believe it, right? And that's so interesting, isn't it? I really found it very
Exactly.
interesting.
I wrote down a quote that for what Jeff said during the sermon, and he said, "It takes discipline on the spiritual path when you're feeling miserable to come back to God and to the good feeling and to feel good," which is exactly what you're saying, Petra. It's a choice. You just choose to pay attention to the good and to the peace that's there.
Mm.
And that's most compassionate, right? To just let go of the bad feeling. And it takes discipline, right? It takes some practice, but and we can have compassion for ourselves as we learn and are coming back to only staying with the good feeling.
Mm.
Yeah. It feels so much better. It feels so good, and it's most compassionate for ourselves to do that, to like just let go of anything, any ego thoughts, anything that doesn't feel good, and to come back to that, to the good feeling.
I love that. Yeah. Mm.
What I love as well, that this reminder that you're already in heaven and God is everywhere. We tend to think like, okay, we're working towards God, we're working towards heaven. It's somewhere over some time, and I have like this little piece, and this reminder helps me to just look around what I have now and just look at the God in there, and like how I'm already with God and what the purpose is of everything and experiencing or having. And yeah, that's really beautiful and allows me to just feel love and enjoy this time. And yeah, it's amazing. I haven't heard anything like that before. It was always like yeah, always working on these goals and stuff, or like there's always somewhere something wrong. And there is nothing wrong. There's no separation. When you realize that, it feels so good. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like feeling like you always want to, you're always with God and you're always in peace. It's just like here and now is really satisfying. Yeah, I know. Like, is that what you're talking about versus feeling like you're always pushing towards something? Like I
Yeah.
have to accomplish something and then I'll feel good, or I have to do
Yeah.
this thing
It's
And
always later, but no, it's not later. It's just
yeah.
you're just expanding. That's what you're doing, and not finding God somewhere later.
Oh yeah.
This image of the staircase to heaven, like somewhere over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 We've been letting go of that a lot. Yeah. Oh my God. I know. You can't have no chill if you don't feel okay in the present moment. Yeah. Always pushing into that. Yeah, that came up too with Lisi. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool because God doesn't, you don't need, God's like not pushing you. I mean, I wouldn't have known that without Jeff and Shalia saying that God looked at you and was like, yeah, it's perfect no matter where you are, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What I just feel sharing is that's funny while we are talking and the word compassion comes so much up now. I really feel it gets a new meaning for me. It gets more meaningful. You know what I mean? I really sense that because before I had sometimes a time I felt, oh, compassion is so, wow, you know what I mean? It's so, you know what I mean? It's without even realizing what it really means, but I really feel it gets more value now. It's just for me at least, right? I really value it more. And also I recognize really the power of it, you know, what it really means, right? It's really, really powerful, right? Yeah, I really love that. And it's so easy in a way to choose compassion. But I really feel it gets more value now. It's just, oh, there was something funny. Are you guys still there, guys? Yeah. Do you hear me? Oh, I don't hear you anymore. Oh, what's going on? You are mute.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to see the comments by changing the video's view, but that caused like a weird audio cutout. So I just want to see all the comments and respond to people. So yeah, if anyone knows how to do that, feel free. Excuse me. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, when I'm on my mobile, I don't see our live. I can see it. Oh, no, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We can
Anyway.
just stay present with what we have right now.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, what came up with what you were sharing, Petra, is that compassion is literally just like, I feel like it's just ending ego, you know, it's just ending feeling bad. Because when you give yourself compassion, give that to yourself and have it for others, you're just saying no to feeling bad. You're saying that, yes, I accept that I'm allowed to feel good all the time. And I can feel good all the time. And that's what God wants for me. And that's what God really only sees. So to accept or choose anything else doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah.
Wow, that's so true, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? And yeah.
Yeah, it's not of God, right? That's what Jeff said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there were so many beautiful sentences, you know, so very simple, easy sentence like all suffering is separation, all joy is connection, right? It's so easy.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I also liked, I wrote down is, you know, with building this relationship to God, we are going to have, you know, in order to have also this knowing in a way, there is this requirement to have a relationship with God. You know what I mean? It's not coming just out of a sudden. It feels like it's really this building up this relationship, you know, being able walking with God and, you know, feeling connected, right? And connection has something to do with relationship, right? Building up a relationship. Yeah. and that's what we are doing, right? That's what we are learning, having a relationship with God, and that's what Jeff and Julia are teaching, right? And they're showing us, right? Because they have that, yeah, as you guys shared at the beginning. I really love that. And because there's so much embodying this, that's why it's for us like easier to pick it up, right? And to really know, oh, it's really for real, it's really true, you can have this life. It's not just in the church, right? It's also out of the church. You can be nice with one and another. And wow, really cool.
Yeah, I like it too because it's just really normal, you know. Yeah, like you mentioned this. I don't remember what this was from, but I bet you remember when Shalia, isn't it an earlier sermon, like Shalia was like, I don't just go around all day being like God, 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 you know, like she's just like,
Oh yeah,
that's
one of my favorites.
I
It's
just do
funny.
things with God, you know, with that presence.
Yeah, and she was talking about, you know, when she's playing video games, she's with God. You know,
Mhm.
it's in everything you do because it's well, it's your natural state. It's just your being, and it's your presence
Mhm.
when you're present with what you're doing.
Yeah. No, you just spam the comment room with God. That's how you do it.
Please, Sage, I did not understand. What was your last sentence? What did you just say?
Oh, it's silly. It's you spam the comment room with God. Like spam is like spamming is when you like send the same thing to someone a billion times, and it's like typing God into the chat room in your video game, like a multiplayer video game, and you keep putting God.
God, right?
Yeah,
God.
yeah, but it's not bad.
No.
It turns out. Yeah.
It's a feeling, right? I think Jeff said it. It's a feeling.
Mm.
You feel God, right? It's not just knowing, it's really feeling. Yeah. Him.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I wrote a very nice sentence on my walk down when I was for a walk. I just feel like sharing. Oh yeah, it was just like, you know, harmonious union is feeling home together with my twin flame, with God or in God, and it just came up, right, and I just felt, oh, that's so beautiful. Then it's not just me sharing or knowing God. It's just I share. I'm home with God and with my twin flame, and through my twin flame I experiencing God on a very unique way, right? And yeah, I just like that. And today I wrote down, it's also interesting, it's also fitting for, in a way, for to the sermon, the relationship with God and myself is my source of happiness. And I said, Amen. And I mean, it sounds so simple, but it's so deep and it's so true, isn't it?
Mhm.
That's just
Yeah.
what it yeah.
Yeah, no. It's really deep. It's really important. People need to hear this, you know. Like people don't, you know, like yeah, like I mean, you know, before the work I didn't well, I was kind of an agnostic, so I guess it doesn't apply. But when I did think of God, I thought of God as in like someone who's like just tells you to do shit, like demands things of you, you know, and you do the things because you want to be good, you know, you want to be deemed worthy and, you know, deemed good. And like, but it doesn't motivate you. It just makes you feel like heavy. It makes you feel really heavy. That's how I felt. And then Jeff and Shalia come along and they're just like, no, like God already sees you as good. You just have to realize that. And that's what gives you the fuel to go and do these things that you love, you know?
That's like a control versus love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unconditional love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and how easy it is to, they show how easy it is because it's just like, you know, yeah, people thought, I thought growing up, love is hard, and if you want to be unconditionally loving, that's hard. And but Jeff, you know, you don't see like Jeff and Shalia like sweating buckets over here being unconditionally loving. Like it's very it's very light and easy,
Yeah.
you know. I think and I feel like it's just because we think that we have to be responsible for other people,
Mm-hmm.
or that's not true, but I mean, you're responsible for people and like feel for them, you know, instead of with them, to love them and stuff, you know, and move their mountains for them when God's supposed to do that, you know, for them.
Mm.
So it's good to just be able to be chill and not, you know, not helicopter loving people.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really the lesson of true compassion, right? Of today
Yeah.
is that we are not responsible, and by letting go of that responsibility and like allowing others to take responsibility for their choices and seeing how powerful they are, like that's that's truly loving, right? That's the real compassion there,
Mhm.
Mm.
instead of
Yeah, the
Yeah.
truth is that if you believe they are responsible for someone else's, feelings or someone else's lives, you're not actually giving them space to claim their power.
exactly.
So in a way, it's abuse too, because the person needs
Yeah.
space to claim it, and it's really loving when you're compassionate with someone else. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, now I can see. Sorry, guys. I just see that I can see now our in the phone. Shall I check if
Oh.
there are some?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like earlier, I know Renato said something, and I thought it would be cooler. There's people in the past. People in the past.
Oh, Oceana says Mother Teresa is a perfect example of compassion too.
Mm.
Right? Yeah. So wow, she has been amazing. Wow. Yeah. Very true. And she also says you never own anyone anything, just extend love to all of God's children.
Mm-hmm.
That's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, and she also says, I want to be a beacon of compassion like Mother Mary. She's so loving and extends compassion so masterfully and perfectly. I love her and I love Jeff and Shalia. Oh, that's very beautiful.
Yeah, the way Jeff spoke about Mother Mary in the sermon was so beautiful, and it was the perfect example of true compassion. Yeah.
Mm. And Nicole, she also says something interesting. She says, compassion, I fear, is perceived falsely as the co-suffering, like, oh, I feel your pain, I have compassion for you, but that's not compassionate, that's I don't know how to say this word, perpetuating the pain and illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, perpetuating it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right. Like Jeff said in the sermon, it's victimhood. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good, yeah. Mm.
No me gusta perpetuate pain and suffering.
No
me
thanks.
gusta. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's very good, yeah. Yeah. So we don't need, yeah, and that's so true. It's really a faith belief that people think, and I thought it myself, and I'm compassionate when I feel the same what the other people,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then feel with them the same, right? And it's just, as Julia said, it's the understanding what they're going through. It's just, I need just to understand, right? Where they are right now. Mm.
Yeah. 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 That's really powerful. It has been for me, learning from them. And also, like, I bet right now for a lot of people, it's a great message because, like, for example, like, with the renewed, like, movements for justice for Black people, Black and brown people, racial justice, you know, across the world. Yeah, it's very relieving, empowering to know that, you know, you're not helping the situation. Like, you don't have to suffer with people. You know, you don't have to like try to feel somebody's pain per se. You just have to like have compassion for them, understanding the heart in your heart that, you know, they're going through a painful experience. People are going through a painful experience where they need love, you know, and you don't have to feel bad. That doesn't help the situation. I mean,
Exactly.
like, people do that with good intentions, because I did that with good intentions.
Right. People,
because
it's
I really felt like
people
I
don't
had to.
understand. They don't have that higher understanding.
Yeah, I really didn't. I didn't know any other way, and everyone was doing that around me. So I was just like, I should do this too. I mean, because it's the only option I can see. But thankfully, you know, now we know you don't have to be that way.
Yeah.
And it's way more comforting for you to be peaceful with them and like not overwhelmed by the hurt too at the same time, you know? Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah, I feel so good. I really love that. Yeah. I've been struggling last year several times, you know, because of the environmental issues. If it's, you know, enough doing my own inner work, or should I now also go on the streets and do things there? But I felt that's leaking my energy, and I felt really I cannot do that anymore. It's not fitting with the energy I'm building up with God, a relationship. It's not fitting. I cannot go at the same time on the streets and like it just feels bad, right? But I had sometimes struggle because I've thought, is this now enough? You know what I mean? Is this or is there something more I need to do, right? But as you said, Sage, it's not serving, it's not helping the situation, right?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what are you? Yes. Now go on.
Oh no, I think yeah, God, I think just yesterday, the day before, Isaiah was telling me something, or someone was telling me something. I think it was you, about like how just us being in peace and being in people's presence does a lot more in the world than we think. And that one is yeah, it's still like sinking in. I mean, I choose to accept that and value myself, you know, for just being who I am. But yeah, yeah, it does do a lot, you know. I mean, you know, knowing Jeff, for example, like knowing Jeff and Shalia, and yeah, them just being and existing, yeah, like stumbling upon them on YouTube, you know, it changes your life. I mean, look, you know, so yeah.
Yeah,
it's good.
And I just feel like saying that's really the greatest honor and gift we can give God back, right? As we are just our true being, as He receives us anyway already, all the time. That's just the biggest gift we can give to Him. I just feel it, right? And that's amazing. So wow, it's enough being us and being who you really are, right? that's good to know, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you show up as yourself and in peace and holding the space of peace, and that's the healing, right? That's everything.
And I just want to say that it's also, it's just that love heals everything, right? It's love. It's not fight. It's not being like, oh, it's the love.
Yeah.
That's what heals. Oh my God. And through compassion, we can just, getting ourselves there and helping also others to get there, right? It's so beautiful. I really love that. Wow. And I really loved also what Jeff said. There's no need to convince somebody or, you know, giving them arguments to do whatever. It's just through compassion where they are right now, and just in an invitation. Yeah. Yeah, it feels very good. Just to invite your own truth and share the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mm.
I just feel called as we're about to wrap up and have a few minutes left. Does anyone have anything they would like to share or elaborate on about what Jeff said about Mother Mary and her compassion?
Mm.
It was
Or just anything. Or if you do.
um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, she's just the perfect example.
Yeah. It's cool that was in the song too. You know?
Mm,
Let it
yeah,
be.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. It was just one of the moments I started to cry when he shared about Mother Mary. And he said, I wrote it down, something like also that she just, she knows herself, but she sees my beloved child is sleeping, right? And
Mm,
he shared, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, very beautiful. Mm. Yeah. And I just feel like saying, when we are angry or getting pissed off when others are sleeping, we can just do the mirror exercise and find the place within us where we are also still sleeping, right? And yeah.
amen.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. By healing that's when we can extend that compassion to ourselves and to others because feel at peace there instead of feeling angry or pissed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
I like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also towards our twin flames, right?
Yes, I was gonna say, yeah, we've gone through a lot of that.
Yep.
I can't tell you like how much better it feels like if either of us is upset for the other to just fucking be in peace. Sorry, I just had to say it. And just be in peace and just be like, okay, like, yeah, this, I'm here for you, versus being like, oh my God. Or I felt really responsible too a lot of the time, but
Mhm.
I let that go. And eventually that illusion totally yielded. And now I feel like much more peace holding space for Isaiah,
Mhm.
because it's like, it's not on me or on him. Well,
It's on God.
it's on God. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
It's very beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. Good riddance to that.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay. Cool. So, I mean, that feels complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.